guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another foundation review. I feel like we've been on such a roll with these lately. I love foundation, okay? What? So today's video is a super highly requested one. Well, another super highly requested one. It's the E.L.F Flawless Finish Foundation. Now, this is meant to be an oil-free foundation that will perfect the skin and last all day long. I've been getting so many requests to review this. It's not a brand new product. Like, it's a product I'm pretty sure that E.L.F has had out for a little while. But yeah, everybody knows that E.L.F is super affordable. I've seen some really glowing reviews on this one. So everybody basically wanted to know, does it actually work on oily skin before they go and buy it? So yes, today's video is going to be a full wear test, demo, application, check-in, the usual deal. I'm going to wear this product on my oily skin type for 12 hours, maybe even a little bit longer than 12 hours. And we're going to see what it looks like. Is it full coverage? Does it cover up my redness? Does it go all cakey and gross with my oils? We're going to find out. So this is what the packaging looks like. It does come in like a little box. It actually feels like glass. Feels like really nice quality packaging. It's like a little frosted bottle. It says E.L.F on the front, pump applicator, black cap. The packaging is actually really, really well done. Right, so on the back of the box, this is what they claim. Oil-free, medium to full coverage foundation that will achieve a flawless, even satin matte base. Delivers comfortable coverage with lasting wear. Creamy blendable formula melts into the skin for a flawless looking complexion all day long. So those are some pretty big claims there. Directions: apply a small amount starting at the center of the face and blend outwards using fingertips, a sponge or a foundation brush. So it doesn't seem to matter how you apply it. Apparently everything will work. We will test that and layer as needed for more coverage and then set with a powder. Okay, so 20 ml of product in this one. I've got the color Sand. Oh, she does look a little dark. Ooh, we'll see. This one does retail for $6 US. Obviously you need to convert that for whatever country that you are in. Shade range is pretty deplorable. Looks like what, 11 or 12 shades. There's only one deep shade and there's only one like super light shade. I mean, this is just from swatches on the website. Like, I obviously haven't seen the collection in person. Shade range isn't cute. It's got a lot of really good positive reviews. So yeah, I'm going to do what I usually do and prime only half of my face. Oh, my hair is everywhere. Using the Hourglass Mineral Veil Primer. You guys know this is my holy grail. And I always prime one side of my face with it for these foundation reviews so that you guys can see how the product performs with one of my favorite primers and without. Don't mind all the scabs. Like, these are actually scabs. I had some extractions done. Ouch. Okay, going in with the foundation now. This will be interesting. I'm going to apply it to the back of my hand. Oh, it's quite a thick formula. Looks kind of moussey. It's sort of not budging anywhere. Oh, and the shade doesn't look too bad at all. I think that the glass component actually makes the shade look a lot darker, in the packaging than when it is out. Sand. We'll see. I'm going to start off first by applying it with a beauty blender. You guys know this is my favorite way. Oh, it's very creamy. You guys know that this is my favorite way to apply foundation. So we're going to go in on the side with the primer first. It's got an interesting scent. It's actually quite a strong scent. If you're, a person that really hates fragrance products, you may not like it. The coverage of this is building up fairly well. It is looking quite nice on the skin. It's not looking heavy just yet. I wouldn't call it full coverage, definitely. It is looking like it's a medium, but I'm also not really having any issues blending it out. Like, it's blending quite nicely with this sponge. All right, so that is sort of one layer on the primed side using a sponge. I would probably more call this light to medium coverage. It's certainly not medium to full, and we are going to have a go at building it, but you can sort of see redness, breakouts. You can see hyperpigmentation and things on my skin still. It hasn't sort of covered all of that up. Okay, let's try it with a brush on the other side. Picking up some more product because I've used pretty much all of it. So one pump actually does dispense quite like a reasonable amount. I'm not finding, that I need two. But taking it on a kabuki brush, I'm going to dot it on the skin. And then sort of a stipple. So it definitely applies with a brush. Coverage-wise, I can't see a huge difference. I am noticing, though, that when it is applied with the brush, it just doesn't look as smooth. Doesn't look kind of as airbrushed. It just doesn't look as nice on the skin, really. I mean, it's not terrible. Like, I wouldn't be horrified by it. It is much smoother with a sponge. Hopefully you can see what I mean. So brush here, looks kind of textured. Sponge. Oh, you know what? There is definitely more coverage with the brush now that I'm looking. But yeah, more texture with the brush, slightly higher coverage. Airbrushed and smooth finish with a sponge, but slightly lower coverage. So I'm going to come back in with the sponge and smooth this side out. And then also apply a second layer to this side. Okay, building the product up on this side now. We just want to get the same amount of coverage. And we also want to, really build the product in the same way that I usually would to achieve a fuller coverage. Certainly for $6 at this point, I'm like, girl, not mad at all about that. Like, it does look really nice on the skin. It's certainly covered up majority of, I guess we would call these imperfections. What do we call these? Battle scars. That's what they are. Extractions, I tell you what, painful situation. And the colour match actually is reasonably good. It might be slightly lighter than my neck and my chest, but I did self-tan yesterday. I'm so confused about what day it is. Yeah, yesterday. So I'm probably like a little bit deeper, to be fair, than I sort of usually am. It was only a very light fake tan, but yeah. Okay, so with 2 built up layers of product, I can officially say that we are at medium coverage. We are certainly not full coverage, but it is looking really smooth, especially now that I went over this side that I applied it originally with the brush, with the sponge, really smoothed out. It certainly does look flawless on the skin. It doesn't look like a mask. Looks pretty good. All right, guys, so this is my skin close up. So this is the side where we have applied the primer. It looks pretty good, pretty smooth, medium coverage. Like, you can definitely still see some discoloration, but I would be perfectly happy to leave it as is. I don't think or feel the need really to, go in and build up the coverage any further. And then this is the side without the primer. I think it does look smoother on the side with the primer, but at the same time, since going over this side, again with the sponge, it looks really smooth on this side as well. It hasn't emphasized my pores. It hasn't emphasized texture or fine lines. Like, it looks really nice. As far as what it feels like on the skin, it does feel like it's set down a little. Like, it's still a tiny bit tacky. Like, I wouldn't call it like a velvet matte, but it looks healthy on the skin. Like, it's sort of got like a mattified kind of appearance, but still with a natural glow. So yes, I'm going to quickly go and apply the rest of my makeup off camera, and then I'll be back, and then we're going to wear this all day long. Hey guys, so I'm back and I've got the rest of my makeup on, and this is what my skin is looking like. It powdered down really well. I did apply some concealer sort of underneath my eyes and through the T-zone, how I normally would. Like, so that's no different to sort of, what I would usually do. I am noticing already though, we've got creasing happening. So there's actually creasing happening on my forehead. You know what? I'll zoom you in. So hopefully you can see here, there is creasing happening on my forehead. There's also creasing happening like on top of my eyebrow. That literally never happens before. Like, I've never noticed creasing or settling of products there. We've also got settling of the foundation sort of just around my lips here on the sides of my mouth. Also, there's a bit going on sort of around my nose, but other than that, it looks fairly smooth. I would still call it a medium coverage because you definitely still can see discoloration and things coming through. Doesn't look perfect. My skin's certainly not looking like my most favorite that it ever has. But again, it's a $6 foundation, so yeah, this is where we are at now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and wear it for the rest of the day. We're going to be doing check-ins, so I'll do like a 6-hour check-in. I have already had this on for about an hour, so in 5 hours I'll be back, and then I'll be doing another check-in at the end of the day how I usually do. I will also take a flash photo so that we can see if there's any flashback with it, but yes, this is where we are, so I will talk to you all very soon. Hey guys, so I am back again with my 6-hour check-in now. Unfortunately, things are not going that well, and it pains me to say it because it's a really affordable foundation, and I hate it when affordable things don't work out because they're always the one thing that I really want to work out because then everyone saves money. But I'm going to zoom you in and talk you through a little bit of what's going on here. For starters, and it's probably very difficult to see on camera, but I'm very oily through my T-zone. Kind of to the point where the makeup is shifting around, moving around, and kind of it's starting to separate. And usually if something's starting to separate by the 6-hour mark, it's usually a no-go for me. But I'm obviously going to continue wearing it and see where we end up. I'm also noticing that the product is actually wearing off on my nose here. You can kind of see like redness peeking through here on my nose. sort of more so on this side. Now, I don't know if this has happened on its own or if I've accidentally bumped my nose, but when it comes to a foundation, I need to be able to wear that product and not worry about, oh gosh, don't touch my face at all, otherwise I'm going to look crazy. You need to be able to accidentally bump your nose, or, you know, your hair touches your face, or you take a jumper off and everything doesn't turn to shit, basically. Yeah, so the nose really is the main problem. I still do have creasing on my forehead. This is the same creasing that I spoke about earlier. And what's happened is the product has actually settled in those lines and sort of separated in there. It's not like creasing that can just be sort of smoothed out. Also, we're getting a little bit of cakiness over the top lip and also, you know, kind of around my jawline, underneath on my chin, those types of areas. So unfortunately, things aren't looking amazing. I will say things don't look terrible. Things, you know, I still wouldn't be mad that this is what my skin looks like after, you know, purchasing and wearing a $6 bottle of foundation. I would still be at this point perfectly happy to wear this product. So it will be interesting to see where we do end up. But those are the things that I am honestly noticing. I always try and be completely frank, completely upfront with you guys in these videos and point out everything that I'm sort of seeing, and that is what I'm seeing. So yeah, obviously we're going to continue on our day. I'm going to keep wearing this. It's going to be quite late tonight when I do eventually come back and show it. Fingers crossed, maybe we'll see a miracle and maybe everything will just fix itself magically and we'll be fine. But I'm kind of doubting it if this is kind of what's happening now. But yes, I'll talk to you guys tonight. Hey guys, so back again. We are at the end of the day. We are here for the final check-in, and I gotta tell you, I am actually pleasantly surprised. This hasn't got any worse. You would have heard me say earlier on in the video, you know, usually when products get super, super oily and start separating and breaking up and kind of caking at the 6-hour mark, usually by the 12-hour mark, it is like a hot mess. It is like terrifying, like zombie status, like do not leave the house, do not be seen alive. But surprisingly, this actually hasn't progressed any further. We're very oily through the T-zone. That's probably the one thing, obviously, like, hopefully you can see the shine on the side of my nose. Like, obviously that has progressed, but there really isn't much you can do about that progressing. I've also got sort of oil kind of inching down underneath my eyes. My forehead looks pretty good. The settling in the fine lines, like the creasing of the product up here hasn't got any worse. The separating and the caking around my mouth hasn't got any worse. Like, weirdly, all of the bad things that were happening have kind of come to a halt and then just haven't progressed and gotten any worse. So here's a little look close up. So this is the side where we have got the primer applied. You might be able to see, hopefully, like it's sort of, I would nearly say that it doesn't even look as cakey or as separated as it did at the 6-hour mark. Like I nearly feel like around my mouth area, it actually looks better. What do you guys think? Do you think it looks better? So primer side, non-primer side. I am definitely noticing that the coverage is wearing off. It was already wearing off the 6-hour mark, but sort of, you know, some of these red spots and that are definitely showing through. But honestly, like as far as it obviously won't control oil, 100%. I'm super oily. In fact, you know what? Let's do the blot test. I know so many of you get like a sick satisfaction out of this. I low-key do as well. But let's see if blotting the oil. Oh, look at that. Hi, honey. Oh. Hi. Let's see if that makes a difference. Oh, it's definitely absorbed majority of that oil, but it's also showing, you know, now that that shine's gone, and like, look at this. Now that that shine's gone, you can sort of see like the redness peeking through. I did speak about it wearing off my nose earlier. Definitely is not going to control oil. For sure. You know what, at the same time, it doesn't look terrible when you blot. Can we touch her up and make her look okay again? Right now, I think you can. It's definitely worn off my nose. Like, this is a product where you're going to have to wear a concealer on your nose or any other areas where you got kind of redness because the coverage doesn't last. It doesn't control oil. Not entirely anyway. I mean, it did pretty good everywhere else, but at the same time, it wasn't terrible. Like, and it doesn't look terrible now that I've blotted. Like, I'd be perfectly happy to continue my day. I really, really would. And I'm really surprised by that because I was expecting to look horrid. So it's kind of a bit tricky for me to give a final opinion on this one. It's a $6 foundation, so I think it's fair to say any foundation that only costs $6, you're probably not going to be able to expect the world from, especially when we're comparing to things like, you know, Estee Lauder Double Wear and things like that. But at the same time, I would repurchase this. I actually would. It's $6. It's super, 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 super affordable. It looks very nice on the skin. It looks very airbrushed and flawless, and it did hold up pretty damn well during the day considering. Does it look the best on my skin? Like, does it look like the most amazing foundation ever? No. Does it control oil? No. Does it hold up though when oil production comes through? Yeah, it fairly well does. Like, it rubs off a little bit. There was a little bit of caking and separating around the mouth. There was a little bit of settling in these lines up here. But for $6, I would happily use this, you know, as a casual foundation. Do you guys have like cheap foundations that you slap on when you can't be bothered and you're kind of like, you know, for a situation that you don't want to waste a good foundation on? Do you guys have that, or is that just me? I would use this as a product when I'm like, oh, I need a little bit of coverage, I need a little bit of something, but I can't be bothered to use, you know, one of my favorites, or, you know, I want something that blends out quick and easy and isn't going to cost me a fortune for things like this. I think that this is a really good option for that. And I mean, it's probably going to sound weird, maybe if I am the only one that does have foundations like that. I would repurchase this for that specific purpose. Would I wear this to my wedding? No. Would I wear this on a day when I need my makeup to look perfect for 15 hours? No, I wouldn't. Would I recommend this as a product that will 100% control your oils? No, but for a really, really cheap product, for how well it performed, I don't think I can really complain too much. I hope today's video was helpful for you guys. I hope it answered any questions that you may or may not have had about the E.L.F. Flawless Finish Foundation. Any other questions that you've got, as always, pop them down below. And I want to know, have you tried this foundation? How did it go on your skin? And what skin type are you? Are you normal? Are you dry? Are you oily? What skin type are you? What happened? How did it go? How long does it last on your skin? I want to know your experiences as well, and whether or not I'm crazy and just imagining things. But I love you guys all so, so much. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I will catch you all in my next video. Bye!